I'm excited to be here today to share with all of you what disruption means to me and how I've applied it in my own career and life. But first off, let's start off with the meaning of disruption. It's the act of causing disorder or an event that results in displacement. But today I'm going to be real with you guys because this is my meaning of disruption, meaning shit hitting the fan. But you know what? There's something interesting though, because shit hitting the fan is sometimes a good thing. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Disruption does not equal failure. Often people mix this up many times, but if you get fired, hired, find love, lose love, or even death itself, it's a different form of disruption. And without disruption in our lives, life would be stagnant. So today I want to share with you how disruption does not equal failure, and it's all about the perspective that you look at. Is the glass really half full, or is the glass half empty? It's as simple as that. So the other thing that disruption does in our lives, it connects the dots. Because have you guys all ever had something that you want so bad, and you're so close to it, and you're right about to get it, and then disruption happens? And yet a week later, a month later, or even years later, you're like, oh, you have that aha moment where you're like, the dots connect. Disruption is the line. The funny thing is, though, you can be the dot, but you can never see the full picture until you take a step back and look at all of the connections. So why? Why disruption? Well, when I hear disruption, I think of this, one phrase. This is great because something bigger is coming. So today, I want to share with you all 3 simple steps that I use every single day with disruption and how I use it and embrace it. And those steps are, first, embrace, ask, and dream. So here's a few of my dots. So picture back to the first time you have your first interview, your first job, your palms are sweaty, you're sitting there, you're nervous, you're like, am I going to get it? Am I not going to get it? You're freaking out. Well, for me, that was when I was 15 years of age. I was sitting at the Bunker Beach wave pool. I had black shoes on, black pants, black shirt, slick back hair. I was ready for like a funeral. And I was sitting there, and I walked in, and maybe it was my black shoes, maybe it was the slick back hair, but I got that job. 15 years of age, I was so ecstatic. I couldn't wait. I showed up an hour early on the first day to be a concession stand cashier. I had my apron on and everything. I go in, I'm like ready to go. I learned how to use the cash register. I'm doing my thing. And then my manager comes in. He's like, hey, Chad, why don't you come with me? I'm like, okay, all right, great. Walk over. He's like, how's it going? I said, this is awesome. I'm loving this. This is so much fun. And he said, really? Okay, because a customer came in earlier, and they got a free slice of pizza. I'm like, oh, well, I'm the cashier. I don't handle the food. And he's like, really? Well, I don't like that you're lying to me, Chad. I'm like, oh, no. What? No, what? And he's like, you know what, Chad? You're fired. And before I even had my first lunch break ever, I was fired. And I was devastated. Remember, I was 15 years of age, and wow, that was, to me at the time, a major failure. That's a dot right there. Yeah, three months later, my perspective was this. The glass wasn't even half full. It was just, or half empty, sorry. It was just empty. I had the worst attitude ever. I went to other interviews, I'm like, stupid, whatever, I'll get a job, you know. The weather's cloudy, so I'm not going to get a job. That lady looked at me funny, I'm not going to get the job. Like, it was horrible, very negative. But then I went to Target one day, and they gave me a job. And I was going to be a cashier. And I started working there, and 3 weeks later, and I'm like, hey, I haven't got fired yet, so something's going well. And I'm in there, and I remember this lady walked through the line, and I forgot to ring up her apples. I'm like, oh, no. I felt so bad. I took off my name badge. I went up to my boss. I'm like, Rick, I'm so sorry. I gave away some apples. And he's like, Chad, get back in line. Your lunch break is in an hour. He's like, nice try. And at that moment, my perspective did this. Just this, a little tweak, where I said, wait a minute. Maybe people aren't against me. Maybe I can have fun at work. Maybe I can enjoy this. And from that day on, my attitude completely changed. And I enjoyed work. I enjoyed it so much that 3 months later, the manager said, Chad, you should apply for this internship with Target. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And at the time, I was 18 years old and a senior in high school. The only catch was the internship was for seniors in college. Somehow, I got the internship. And for the next 4 summers, I would have summer internships, all individual, all different. And each summer, you'd have a final project and a final review. The first summer, project went great. They said, you know what, Chad? And during the final review, we're promoting you. Come back again. Came back again. Project went great. They said, Chad, we're promoting you this time to headquarters. I went to headquarters this year. During my project, I got the Thought Innovation Award from the Target Corporation. They said, great job. Come back again for your 4th and final internship. I came back from my 4th and final internship, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how things have changed, thinking back 4 years ago. And I did my project. I got the Intern of the Year award. And over the past 4 years, I saved over $1 million for Target. And during my final review, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful for this. This is so fun. My manager sat me down. She's like, Chad, you did a great job. You did your project. You have a great attitude. But you do not meet expectations for this position. And right then and there, I was like, I said some bad words, but I'm like, what is happening? And then it clicked. Because I've been here before. And that leads me into my first point, which is embrace. Right then and there, I embraced my failure, and I connected the dots. Because I'm like, I've been here before, and my perspective had already changed. And I said, wow, this is great. Something bigger, better be coming. And from there on, that's changed everything. 2 months later, I started my first company, the OMG Agency. It's a small niche agency that consisted of all young people, at the time only students. And trust me, I went through hell and back with that because I embraced disruption, but I've had to fire a co-founder. I've lost clients. I've fired clients, but I've also helped clients change their businesses and save businesses that were failing. And that's all because of embrace. That leads me to my second point, which is ask. I know, to this day, I can't do this by myself. I have to ask for help every day. And that's what I did with OMG Agency. And it's funny because a year ago, my friend named Matt, we were at my parents' house, and we were sitting in my parents' basement, and he asked me a question. He asked for help. And he came up to me and said, Chad, you know what? Can you teach me, with your experience with the OMG Agency, how to develop a mobile app? And I was like, no way. Because a week ago, I was thinking, I would love to design a mobile app for students, built by students, for college students. And I'm like, wow, this time the dots didn't connect. They slapped me in the face. I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And that's right when By Me started. Now let's fast forward this a year forward. Matt Erickson has had no development experience. I don't know how to develop apps. And now Matt has been interviewed by Google, Microsoft, and currently works in Boston doing a development job for another startup, and he still works with us. But throughout that entire time, he has embraced disruption because there's been days where Matt has literally came up to me and said, Chad, I quit. I can't do it, man. It's too stressful. And I say, you're not quitting, Matt. You asked me for help, and I'm helping you. And come on. And he looked at me. He's like, you know what? You're right. Embrace it. Something bigger is coming. And because of that, that's what separates Matt. That's what separates Matt from all the other people who have quit. Ask for help and then receive. This leads me into my last point, and my favorite point, but also the most hard to understand sometimes, and it's dream. And the one thing about dream is anyone can do it, but there's only one thing that holds people back. It's not the weather. It's not money. It's not your resources or people. It's you. You've heard that before, but it's so true. It's you. And to help reach your dreams, I have 2 tools I use every day. The first is, what if? What if is such a powerful question. Because let's look at this way. What if I started a company and I failed? What if I started a company and I lost money? What if I have fired someone? What if I mess things up? What if I let down my family and friends? Now let's do this. What if I started a company and it was successful? What if I started a company and I made money? What if I started a company and I provided jobs? What if I just did it? This is a great question because you can do this right now. You can do this when you leave this room because what if I ran a mile today? What if I raised my hand in class and asked, What if I stay back and help that one person? What if I just did it? To help supplement that, there's another tool that I use, and it's called a vision board. And today I want to share it with you. It's pretty personal, but a vision board is a tool. Not the only tool, but a tool that works for me, and maybe it'll work for you. This is my vision board, and before you guys judge me about the naked guy, I can explain, don't worry. So this vision board is very interesting because my friend, just a week ago, he said, Chad, you've been working out a lot more lately. He's like, is that because of your girlfriend? Or like, what's up? And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm like, holy crap. You're right, I have been working out more. And it's because of my vision board. A vision board is a tool where you put your dreams on it. And on my vision board, yes, I have a ripped guy, and unfortunately I don't look like him yet, but when you wake up and you look at that thing every day, you're just like, oh man, I got to work out today. So that's been helping me. And he noticed it, and I didn't even notice it because he called me out on it. I also have other very powerful words on there, like breakthrough. It's kind of small, I can't see it. The creative vision, designed to intrigue, stay ambitious, growing companies. And I have all 4 of my companies on there, the OMG Agency, Buy Me, Connect Me, and the Motive Group. Ever since I made this, which was this summer, my companies have been booming. They've been growing, just like I put on there. I have, you can see there's some guys on there. My business partners and I have had the best relationships we ever had. I also put a guy and a girl on there in a great relationship. I'm also in a great relationship right now. So this stuff, for me, is like magic. It's so simple, and it comes true because it helps you envision your dreams. So with that being said, I just want everyone to realize that's all about perspective. You want to look at it this way, or you want to look at it this way. It does not matter if you have a glass that's half full. It doesn't matter if it's half empty. Because guess what? If you have a glass, you can fill it with beer. But I think you guys understand that it doesn't matter what you have. Because you all should understand today, or I hope you understand, that disruption, don't be afraid of it. And don't be afraid to be disruptive. Because you now know that this is great. Something bigger is always coming. Thank you.